Why buy your next vehicle from Community Motors of Mason City?
Great service from 3 locations: Community on Monroe, Community Motors Westside, and Mason City Ford. 10 new franchises and hundreds of vehicles to give you more choices. Plus, Community offers an exclusive 3-3 warranty on pre-owned vehicles and 10-year, 250,000-mile warranty on new. Need more reasons why? Stop or visit CommunityAutoGroup.com.
Because nobody beats a community deal. Nobody.
Okay, let's turn it on and then we get started. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, June 26th, 9:45. At this time, I'll open up the Sprvsrs County Board of Supervisors regular session.
Mr. Chairman, at this time I'll move the minutes of the meeting of the 19th and today's agenda.
Okay, I'll second that.
Got a motion and second to approve the agenda for this morning and the minutes from June 19th regular session. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Any old business needs to be brought before us this morning?
Certainly.
Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Mary, good morning. County Engineer's business.
How are you?
Good.
All right, on S14, they finished culvert work, and the Cold in Place recycling contractor started this morning, so he's milling up that existing pavement.
They starting on the south end?
They're starting on the south end, working north towards Ventura, and then we'll turn around and come back down towards the south. We've been trying to work with Ventura because it's going to be kind of a mess when we get to the grade, because they're doing their project and we're doing ours, but I think we'll work through it. There may be some points of inconvenience for people, but we'll get through it. So
We'll never have it totally closed, will we?
no, but there may be points where they may have to wait
Sure.
for 30 minutes or something while the contractor's getting his equipment out of the way or whatever. So yes. And then I did receive a resignation from Len Weir. His last day is going to be the 31st, and he is in my sign department. So his last physically working will be the 13th, and then he'll be utilizing vacation for the remainder of that time. So if you guys are okay, I'd like to internally post that. It has to be posted for the 10 days, so that'll take some time, and by the time we get that settled, we can see which position would need to be filled and look at that at that time.
Okay. I think being in the same group, that's a good idea. Get it this way.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and start that internal posting, and then with that, Steve Wyverney's mentioned he's looking at retiring, and he's the sign foreman. So it would be nice to get somebody started in the sign department, so when he determines when he's ready to resign or retire, that hopefully somebody else kind of knows what's going on with the history and the records he's kept and things like
How
that.
many years does Steve have inside?
In total about 40. I think he had Rodney beat. In the sign department, I don't believe that was, our sign department probably wasn't established till maybe the early 80s maybe. But they had signs, but I don't think that.
I was thinking maybe 15 years.
Yeah.
That right, Tom?
Because I lived in here 15 years in October, so it was before that, so, yeah.
But he's done a really good job at establishing a database and keeping good records and things like that. So, yeah, it would be nice to get that internally filled if there's interest to keep that going on. Steve had looked at possibly retiring in November. He's trying to get things worked out with IFRS and health insurance and things like that. So.
Internally filled, are you suggesting Phil apply for it?
Well, he's more than welcome, and if he meets the qualifications, we would look at his resume.
You meet qualifications, Bill. We haven't figured out where you fit in.
Does he have a CDL?
Those red ones that say STOP, you do got to stop it.
You can do it.
That's law enforcement. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get that internally posted, and we'll start that. But that's all I have to report on, really. So.
Okay.
Go to the second item. For your consideration is a resolution to allow temporary parking. We received a request from Mr. Nagel, who lives over at 4244 South Shore Drive. And he is here today if you have any questions for him. He is having an event, I believe a reception and a wedding for his daughter, and there's no parking currently posted on South Shore Drive. And I did look at that resolution that was resoluted in 1990. There hasn't been parking there, and Sheriff Powell's, the discussion started, Sheriff Powell's contacted me wondering if I would allow this, and I felt it kind of needed to go in front of you guys with a temporary resolution because those signs were resoluted to begin with. So we kind of discussed it, and he said he would be willing to help park the cars. I guess I have some concerns with future events for other residents and things like that, and then the safety of the public with parking on the side of the road.
I went over there the other day and looked it over, and it looks like you can get parked on there, and I think we got some pictures too. Talked to the sheriff. He looked at the resolution, and he said the only thing he would change on it is that instead of letting them park until 11 o'clock, he says, I would say like 9:30 or so everybody's out there by dark. That way the safety won't be near as much of a safety problem. But anyway, the sheriff said he'd be more than willing to drive by there a couple, 2 or 3 times and make sure everything was kosher and see that things got done. Dave, would you like to say something?
Really nothing, but we'd have a person out there directing the parking. There's an asphalt shoulder on that. I have some pictures if you need to see them, but there's an asphalt shoulder there, and then there's grass. And we'd have all 4 tires in the grass so that the asphalt shoulder could still be utilized by bikes or whatever. So, I agree that we can be out there by dark. So, and it will be. It's Thursday evening. It'll be a dinner. It's not a reception. It's before the wedding. It's Thursday evening a dinner, and then a barbecue on Friday. Same thing. So that'll be during the day. We'll be vacated out of there by about 6 o'clock on Friday.
Okay.
I see that the sheriff, Dave, recommends that you notify your neighbors. Are you going to do that?
Yes. Yeah, we can. Yeah. Well, everybody knows what's going on anyway, but we will notify them officially that we have permission to park across the street.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you going to do that in writing or?
Any way you want me to do it.
I think in writing is the preferable way.
Okay. For those people across the street from where the cars are parked,
well, just so everyone has got a hard copy record as opposed to an oral, that this is what's going to happen, and they know in print.
I agree.
I think that's a good way.
I think it probably is too. Any other questions for Dave? Since it's in my district, I'll make a motion to do a temporary resolution. I would imagine, let's see, the next resolution would be 62.
With the time?
With the time.
With the time change to 10 o'clock.
You want the 11 o'clock change to 10?
Yep.
And then the 4:30 to 6:30?
It'll be 11 to 6. 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday, June 6th, July 6th.
All right.
There is a motion, is there a second? Second. Okay, we got a motion and second to do resolution 2012 number 62. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you for working with us on this and not just doing it. Sometimes they just do it, and then we have a real problem during it.
It's important to my whole family. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Okay.
All right, the next item on your agenda for your consideration is a request. I received a request from Steve Wyverney. He has 88 hours of unused vacation because he had an emergency FMLA incident that he didn't know about, so he couldn't utilize his vacation. Policy currently allows you to carry over 24, so with the 88 hours he has, he need to carry over an additional 64 hours, so he's requesting that he be allowed to carry over that total of 88 hours.
And your recommendation is?
I would approve it, or I would recommend that it be approved. In speaking with Tom, he's mentioned that in the past that for health issues that are unforeseen, we've granted this sort of leave, and I know we've had a couple of other employees in our office where it's been granted in the past. He did try to utilize as much as he could prior to his surgery because he had about a week or so between the time he found out to the time his surgery was. I recommended that he utilize as much as he could, so he used about 40 hours at that point.
Okay.
And then he had to go on leave for surgery.
I make a motion to approve the request by Mr. Wyverny concerning his unused vacation and the carryover recommended by the engineer.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to let Steve Wyverny carry over 88 hours of his vacation into the following year, mostly because of the health reasons that he's had. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Anything else, Mary?
No, I don't think so.
Do you have anything from Mary? Either one. Okay, we'll move on to item B, county auditor's business. Thanks, Mary.
Names this morning for your consideration, and Ms. Stacker here actually needs signatures on them.
Okay. I would so move to accept and approve and authorize the chairman's signature on the claims presented this morning.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second to approve the claims presented this morning. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Payroll.
Okay, we've got a couple things on payroll today. Here's payroll warrant for the week ending, payroll ending 6/16/2012.
Motion to accept the warrant.
All right, and I'll second that as of the 16th of June.
Okay, we've got a motion second to approve the payroll warrant report for June 16th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, I've got one more thing for payroll. Matthew Klunder is, excuse me, he's in the sheriff's department and got promoted. So we have a pay request. He'll be going from hourly to $60,000 per year.
Okay.
Still need a-
That takes the resolution.
No, that'll be a
Okay. I so move to approve the payroll increase for Matt Plunder in the sheriff's department.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion second to approve the payroll request for Matt Thunder in the sheriff's department. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Anything else in payroll?
I don't believe so.
Okay, moving on to drainage.
Drainage, we have got no issues that I'm aware of.
Okay. Moving on to item number 4, motion to cancel outstanding warrants.
Okay, these are requests. We request that you cancel the outstanding warrants. Actually, I need a copy for each of you. Your checks that are out there, and they're over a year old currently.
Okay.
They're people just in cash.
Correct.
Okay.
And then a letter is sent out to them asking them, you know, do you still have it? Could you cash it? You need to replace them.
Right.
These are ones that we've heard nothing back.
Okay. What would you like to do?
We need a motion for that.
Motion to cancel the warrants is recommended.
Okay?
Yeah, and I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion second to cancel the outstanding warrants that's presented this morning. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, anything else on the warrants? Moving on to item number 5. Consider bids for auditing services for fiscal years 2011-12, 12-13, and 13-14. Heather?
We sent out publication for request for proposals for audit services for fiscal year ending 12, 13, and 14. And we received one bid in, and that was from Gardner Thompson. Gardner Thompson has been performing the audit for the last several years. I have a copy if you want to read through the bid. Otherwise, they just requires a signature. It's a 3-year bid. And the cost, the last 3 years for Gardner Thompson, starting with fiscal year 9, it was $38,500. Fiscal year 10, $40,000, and fiscal year 11 was $41,500. So it's a $1,500 jump every year. This starts with $42,500, and then it's a $1,000 increase every year. So $42,500, $43,500, $44,500. Goes through 2014.
And they're doing that for a continuous of a contract, you know, instead of the 1,500 jump, standing for a
Right.
3 years, it'd save services 1 year.
And these are the hourly rates if they have to do other things?
Right. If there's any odd, unspecified procedures that come up, they do have rates in there. I think that's happened once or twice in the last 20 years that I'm familiar with.
Sure.
Typically, everything is covered under their scope there.
Okay.
You recall that we have prepared a CAFR the last 16, 17 years, I believe now, the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. Gardner has worked with us on preparing that, and we have received the award every year, including this last year. So we've been very happy with their services.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, at this time I make a motion to accept the proposal for Gardner and Associates for auditing services for the years 2012 through 14.
Okay.
Okay. I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to accept the bid for years 12, 13, and 14 from Gardner. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Heather. We better go down here and do the public hearing as just informed. So we're going to move from there down to item E, the 10 o'clock public hearing on a request from Loki. Tom, would you like to tell us a little bit
It's a
about
rare and gratifying event when I get to preempt the auditor's business.
There you go.
Paul and Terry Benke have a 6-acre parcel in the southwest quarter of Section 30, Grant Township. It was split in March of '91 without a rezoning. The current zoning ordinance took effect in March of 1990, and at that time should have been rezoned from A1 to A2. We discovered this when they applied for a permit to build, I believe, a garage, and determined that the lot was illegal. They're now requesting this rezoning to A2 to correct the oversight. There's field access near the intersection of Apple Avenue and 290th Street. There's also field access north of the acreage off of Apple Avenue, and there are 2 accesses into the acreage. Since this is an existing building site, no land would be taken out of production. There were no access issues, and the request generally conforms to the comprehensive plan. And because it corrects the parcel's illegal status, the Planning and Zoning Commission at their meeting on June 14th recommended approval of the rezoning.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to open up the public portion of this hearing for, how do you pronounce that name, Boki?
Benke.
Benke. Okay, for the Benkes. Is there anybody who would like to speak?
Mr. Chairman, hearing no comment from the public, I move to close the public portion of our hearing.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to close the public portion of the hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Okay, what was your desire?
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I make a motion to approve resolution 2012-63, the change of zone request for Benke.
Okay.
I'll second number 63,
Okay,
resolution.
Okay, we got a motion second to resolution 2012 number 63 for the Benkes. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Okay, moving on to number F. The Weavers, would you like to tell us a little bit about it?
Tom and Deb Weaver wish to convey 5.08 acres of their farming complex that includes the house to their son. This parcel is located in the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of Section 9 of Doherty Township. They're requesting the zone from A1 to A2. There's field access from 140th Street just west of the acreage. The other buildings that are not included in the rezoning to the east have a separate access. There is an access from 140th Street and Vine Avenue as well. The request conforms to the comprehensive plan. Again, no land's being taken out of production. It's an existing building site, and the Planning and Zoning Commission on June 14th recommended approval of the rezoning to A2.
Okay. The little fine line that goes between the hog buildings and the bins, is that kind of the line that closes it? Separates the two?
I got it right here, Tom. Where you go?
No.
Okay, that is.
That's
No,
not mine. I
work
just-
off the survey. That's a quarter line there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, at this time, I'm going to open up the public hearing for the request for a zone change from A1 to A2 for Weavers. Is there anyone like to speak? Hearing nobody, is there a motion to close the public portion of the hearing?
Also moved.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second to close the public portion of the hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. What is your wishes?
I would move for the approval and using resolution number 64 for the said zone change for the Weaver family.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion second to do resolution 2012 number 64 for the Weavers from the zone change from A1 to A2. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item G. The 10-10 hearing for Five-Star Co-op. I see Five-Star Co-op's here this morning.
Well,
How are you this morning?
good, how about you guys?
Good.
And gals, excuse me.
Okay, it's 10-10. Tom, would you like to let us know what's going on?
Five-Star Cooperative Elevator has purchased 2.56 acres. It's a building site east of their current operation from Robert Ostra. They're requesting to rezone that parcel from A1 agricultural to M1 light industrial to facilitate future expansion of their operations. The parcel includes a few lots of the original platted town of Birchnell, vacated Cliggett Street, and some unplatted property as well. Right now, access to that building site is actually through Sprvsrs complex at an opening in the existing privacy fence, and I believe I provided a picture of that to you. There's a number of structures on that property that may or may not remain as part of Sprvsrs expansion. There is access into the farm fields other than going through that building site. There's a field access from Lark Avenue, which is County Road S34, south of the former railroad right-of-way. There's also field access from 150th Street, which is County Road B60, east of the former railroad right-of-way. The rezoning is consistent with the county's comprehensive plan. It encourages an industrial development out in the county be limited to uses that depend on inputs from the surrounding agricultural community and or provide market outputs for agricultural products. This facility essentially does both. The Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed this request at their meeting on the 14th of June and recommended approval of the rezoning to M1 light industrial.
I think this is one of them where you turn off Lark and you turn on Tiffany Street, isn't it? Tiffany? I think it's Tiffany Street. You go up to the elevator. Looks like that was quite a street. Okay. We've had Tom's comments. At this time, I'm going to open up the public portion of the hearing for the request for Sprvsrs co-op. Is there anyone that'd like to speak?
Here's your chance.
I think it's a
You
good
did a
deal.
pretty good job, I thought.
Tom did real well. I'm glad he comes prepared.
Do you know what buildings you're going to keep and which ones you're?
I know there's been a lot of access or a lot of questions on people that want to buy the house to move it. There's a shed right along the edge of the property, that'll go. As far as the trees and that type of stuff, we're gonna try and leave as many as we can for as long as we can. And I don't think we'll take out any more buildings than what we have to as we go. What we're looking at doing is next year, the year after, putting up 135 bushel, which is about 1 million bushel bed.
Well, you're I can't believe all the sand they've hauled in there already for all the different foundations.
Well, you see, the wet bed's already done.
Yeah.
That one 90-foot's half done. And they're waiting, they'd have the legs up already, but they didn't get the platform done in time because the pits and everything are already in there.
Okay. It's looks like it's going good. I just lived a couple miles from there. So.
There is room to put 3 million bushels, 1 million bushel beds in there.
Well, I hope you do it, Surrey County, because we need the taxes. That's all.
Is there any way we get a tax abatement on some of this?
No, not right now.
Oh, I just thought I'd ask.
Nothing wrong with asking.
I'm gonna have to do more in Worth County, I guess.
I don't know if we want to do this now. Okay, is there anything else that needs to be brought before us? If not, I'll entertain a motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
Also, second.
Okay, we got a motion and second to close the public portion of the hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. What is your wishes?
This time, I would so move in favor of resolution number 65 for the said zone change for the Sprvsrs co-op at Birchnell.
Second. Okay, we got a motion and second to do resolution 2012 number 65 from A1 to M1 for Sprvsrs. All those in favor of said motion, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
You bet, thank you.
Moving on to item H. Public hearing on zone change for Davison Sheriff. Sheriff, the last name?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Okay. Okay, Tom, would you like to tell us about it?
Davison Life Estate, Bruce Davison and Karen Scher are requesting to rezone a parcel in the southeast quarter, the northeast quarter, section 9, Portland Township, from A1 to A2. This is a result of a fulfillment of a land contract on 5.41 acres in that quarter section. There's access to the surrounding farmland through the building site to the west at 21868 265th, which is owned by Bruce and Sandra Davidson. There's also an access north of the acreage off of Vine Avenue near the half section line. As part of this, the Davisons executed a declaration of use covenant limiting the uses of the farmland, the surrounding farmland, that quarter section, to agricultural uses. This is an existing building site. Again, no land's being taken out of production. There aren't any access issues, and the request generally conforms to the comprehensive plan. And so at their meeting on the 14th of June, Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the rezoning to A2. And Teresa Stout is here representing the applicants for the rezoning.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. At this time, I'll open up the public portion of the hearing. Does anybody want to speak?
I would just like to thank you for listening to this. Again, I am Teresa Stout. I represent the Davisons. And very simply, how lay people would see it is it's an acreage surrounded by all farmland. But through trusts and estates and so forth, it got chopped up into a couple different ownership issues of a trust owning it and the parents still owning a portion and so forth. So that's the issue. But it's all farmland, and Bruce, fully intends to keep farming it and to just sell off this acreage as planned back in 1991.
Okay. Anyone else like to speak? None, I entertain a motion to close the public portion of the hearing.
So moved. I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion second to close the public portion of the hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I move resolution 2012, number 66, to approve the change of zone.
And I'll second said resolution number 66.
Okay, we got a motion second to do resolution 2012 number 66 for a zone change for the Davisons and Sprvsrs for A1 to A2. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move back up to item B, number 6. Resolution to approve the 2012-13 supplemental appropriations.
The background on that, Becky, are you aware of?
It's just for the new fiscal year. It comes out every year.
Okay.
It's the resolution appropriations.
For the new fiscal year starting 1st of July. Well, with that, I so move in favor of resolution number 67 for the supplemental budget.
I will second.
Okay, we got a motion second to do resolution 2012 number 67 for the supplemental appropriations for the 2012-13 budget. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 7, resolution concerning credit exemptions and assessments for year 2011.
This resolution is presented every year about this time. It's the credit exemptions and so forth for property. And this year the state is funding 78% of the homestead credit. If you approve the resolution, you'll be approving these credits at a percentage showing. All the credits and exemptions funded are 100% with the homestead at 78%. And taxes this year should be calculated Monday, July 9th is the intent on doing that. So that would be a resolution.
Okay.
See, here's what is contradictory in the first sentence. For the 12th year in a row, the state of Iowa has reduced appropriations for property tax credits and exemptions, which reductions have potential impact either on individual taxpayers, counties, cities, or schools, and levy authorities. You'll find an attached memo from the Iowa Department of Revenue estimating the reduced appropriations. Reduced, not increased. And I think it's somewhat misleading here to say 78% is going to be funded, and then look over and see that $419,000 is going to be passed on to the taxpayer. That's in direct contradiction to the first sentence.
That's if it's not, that's the difference, if you read through there, the difference if it's not funded, if the county were to pick it up.
Right.
And Sandy also said, you know, if you have any reservations about it at all, feel free to table it until next week. That's not an issue.
I mean, it's not one that we really can do a whole lot about, because it comes right at the end of the fiscal year, as it does every year. Therefore, you know, our hands are basically tied. We have no funding budgeted to pick up that amount, nor does any city, county, or school. School to do that. I was just pointing to the contradiction in the first sentence and the rest of it. However, having stated what I stated, I will make a motion to accept the funding of tax credits as presented.
That needs to be a resolution, I think.
Yes.
So we do 68.
2012, number 68.
Okay.
All right, I will second resolution number 68 concerning the credits and exemptions for the coming year.
Okay, we got a motion second to approve the credits and exemptions for the 2011 as presented to us this morning. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolution 68 say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Resolution to approve the auditor's transfer of funds.
The next thing we have is a resolution to approve the auditor transfer of funds. We've got $1,740 going from the Missouri operations and maintenance to the Missouri reserve. And then we also have $2,815 going from the Missouri operation and maintenance to the Missouri depreciation. And then the last one is $2,200,000. That's going from the general supplemental account to the general basic. And then that will need to be a resolution.
I'll also move resolution number 69 concerning the auditor's transfer of funds.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion second to do resolution 2012 number 69, transfer of funds. Two of them are for the Missouri sewer project, and one of them is from general supplemental to general basic. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolution 2012 number 69 say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item C, county treasurer. Pat, how are you this morning?
Are you sure?
Are you ready?
I am ready.
We just saved the best for last.
There you go. Motion to abate AY 2009 tax in the amount of $108 plus interest and cost, 2010 $112 interest and cost on parcel 052440404000.
Did you want to explain all three of those? Maybe
You know
we take
what?
them all in one motion.
All in one. I did want to make note that these are in direct correlation to a previous resolution that was passed, in that we were allowed to put stops in our motor vehicle system against taxpayers, delinquent and mobile homes. And not that we're getting the money in, but we're at least getting the books cleaned up on these three.
Okay.
They are wanting to drive, so they are coming in, buying replacement titles, so they can junk these mobile homes out legally, so we can abate the taxes. That's the great part of what we passed months ago.
Good. Okay.
Nice to know it's working.
It is working.
Yep.
All three of these.
I will make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to approve the abatements on items 1, 2, and 3 under the treasurer's business.
Okay?
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, we've got a motion second to approve the abatements on all 3 items in the county treasurer's report. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Moving on to item D, fireworks permit for Joel Meyer.
The application is in order and the insurance is in place
Okay?
for fireworks on July 4th.
Okay. Also, make a motion to accept and approve the fireworks permit for Joel Meyer.
I'll second.
Joel, I should say.
Okay, I got a motion and second to approve the fireworks permit for Joel Meyer for the 4th of July. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item I, agreements and contracts. I have none.
I have none.
Okay? Appointments.
I assume that will be next week.
I believe the only one we're waiting on is the mental health board.
Right.
And item K is correspondence communication. Authorize the chair to sign a letter of support for Habitat for Humanity. What do we have here?
Do you want to speak on that?
No.
No. They are just applying for a USDA money,
Okay?
I believe, and so they needed a letter from the county. Just a letter of recommendation, basically a letter of support.
Okay?
Okay, I make a motion to approve the letter of support.
Okay.
Authorize the chair's signature.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to authorize the chair to sign a letter of support for Habitat for Humanity. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Last item is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, and I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.